Yeah, that's right, Scott Sensei. Yeah, that's exactly right. Okay, then let me tell you one thing. Since Hirom-san has to leave at 5, so let me tell you one more thing, which is exactly the same thing as the main case. Sometimes, when you do this, then your opponent notice you came suriage, therefore opponent hesitate. So that happens. Then, but if opponent keeps trying to hit my men, then so when you do this, we should be ready to your cut. And if the opponent comes, you just cut the door. That's the main suriage door is exactly the same as main suriage main. So not just take it, then try to hit too late. So this motion is, you are already ready to hit by using this pivot motion. So that's the kind of the preparation you should have all the time. So you respond to the what opponent does, but next motion, always we should be able to cut immediately. So that's a kind of, sometimes people say kigamae, but it's not just a kigamae, it's a migamae also. And that's why I show the Tamano Kendo Research and Clinic, the Koda Sensei's explanation for the how to do the coronal, and then those players are showing doing this is a top player of the universe. So the what they do is the foot. They can next moment they can hit. So not only learning the rule, corona rule, but that video is very nice to learn how to move. So the lots of times in the corona case, tsubazariai, and we can do this. That is not allowed. So the foot, so once you go this way, then Next, you should try cut. So that kind of a movement. So that's the best exercise you can do. So I think it's unfortunate we have to do some kind of a different interpretation, but probably that is the real kendo movement. So we should learn how those demonstration people doing. Okay, so pretty soon Hiromi-san has to leave, but indication is by the Kento-san and Jennifer-san, they are expecting next week. So, so probably we'll hold the next week session.
Right.
So, Hiromi-san, I think you got a lot of theme to practice, right?
先生、講談社研修 doesn't do much 返し面 or 返し道。They do more すり上げ面、すり上げ道。
That's because those young people are very quick. But for example, Sueno sensei, Kagoshima Police Department, made us took a statistics for the police kendo. This was before the corona problem. And according to his data, Do is 30 to 1.
Oh, not very often.
30 plays, 決まり手, and only one do, and the rest are men or kote. So even before the corona, or even for the little older people, chance for do is really small. And so those are more like when we see the beginners, we see lots of kaishido, because they come in when they shouldn't. So it's easy. Oh, what? But when the level is higher and not much chance to do the kaishido. Or like Mochira Sensei said, somehow for him, it doesn't fit to the logical theory. Therefore, he can do it, but he doesn't use it. That's what he said. Okay, so Hiromi-san, if you need to leave.
はい、ありがとうございました。Thank you.
All right. See you
I'll
next
see
time.
you next week.
Yes. Yeah. Next week should be okay. Yeah. I come right from the university, so just try to come here as soon as possible. So thank you.
Glad to see you.
Okay.
ありがとうございました。
どうもありがとうございました。And
Tamaro says, if I could ask a quick question.
Sure.
A long time ago, I heard from someone that his idea of kendo was when you hit, today we were talking about kind of rotating here. He said his idea was after when, how do you say it? Like the moment of impact is when you put all your weight on it. All your like if I hit man here after the point of impact, that's when all of my weight is on it, as if I'm balancing my whole body weight there. So he was trying to explain that to us because that's how he approached kendo.
Yeah. What it doesn't contradict to what I said. So the first when you swing this version, which I said it becomes more like a pivot, touches the wherever we want to cut, and then do this. But if we just do with the arm, this part is too light. Therefore, we can't do it. But just like we practiced last week, so this motion is actually created by dropping the entire spine, means actually weight downwards. So instead of arm and hand just doing this, it's created. So and this motion, I'm not using arm muscle at all. I'm just dropping spine from the sacrum. So touch.
Yeah, I mentioned it only because it looks very familiar too, and it reminded me of that thing that I heard a long time ago. Of course, at that time I was more of a beginner, so I couldn't really do it. But that idea, it's always kind of stuck with me. So this was kind of very interesting to see. It reminds me a lot of the same. The movement is it's basically the same.
That's right. Lots of the things are already said, but we didn't take it correctly.
I see. I see.
So we thought it's made by this.
Yeah.
But actually, those senses are doing by the body.
Yeah. That was very, very interesting. It was of course we had not heard anything like that at that time. We're like, okay, here's this weird guy. but yeah, I over the years, of course, it kind of made more sense as I got better, of course, because the quality of the ippon hit has to have enough emphasis, and if you use too much arm, then it's very light. So putting that body weight into it is a very good addition.
Yeah. So even if we drop our body, but if we make a pivot here, which can be created by arm motion, then that is not very good. So if you look at my hand, probably that one type of a style compared to. So the last week, remember, I was doing foot
Yeah.
versus foot.
Right.
And just going this way is light. So doesn't can't slash. But
Right.
foot type
Right.
style
Right.
will do a job. So
Right.
not only that, the motion we need initially or our attitude is always the same. So the let opponent come and how opponent come, foot pong, pong, or foot pong. Or sometimes foot, then we go, so the I mean, then lot of times 逆動 is open.
Yeah. Right.
All same, I think.
Yeah, I also try to practice do more often because we spend a lot of time practicing man or kote. Yeah, do is neglected too. But 30-to-1 ratio, okay, maybe every 30 practice sessions we'll do one for do. Should keep same ratio.
That's why some senses say kendo is the main pon.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
very cool.
because the basic fundamental movement is already there. And of
Yeah.
course, the other one which is good is kirikaishi.
Mhm.
But if you just do kirikaishi, man, that's just arm motion. So that's not very good. So the again, fu, 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 fu.
Right.
So the
Yeah.
make a rhythm.
Hmm. I
And
see.
then not only you, what you find is each time you are stepping forward, the like a foot more or so.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I feel like my kirikaishi, like sometimes because I don't end up in the same place. Like I go, but then when I come back, it's like here. And I
Yeah,
go again. And sometimes I wonder, okay, maybe I should fix my footwork because that means my forward is longer than my back. But I think ideally it should be even. So then you know in your mind without looking how far you go, and you just go back and it could be the same distance.
yeah,
So yeah, sometimes I just wonder.
yeah. Uh,